Hello guys and welcome to the second video of the Fujiang series. And as promised, I am doing the yapping myself this time. So, today we will be continuing to build in the downtown area, specifically the west side of it. There will be more buildings included in this video this time, which is why it is a bit longer than the last one. I'm saying a bit like it isn't 10 minutes, but okay. Of course, like any YouTuber, I will have to ask you to like and subscribe for more. It really helps. And with all that said, let's get started. Alright, so first off, we will be adding a few details to the area we already built. That means barrier poles, trees, but also an additional entrance to the white apartment with a skybar on top. Okay, so what you will see me doing here is attempting to use the new decals to make a crosswalk across the street here. Unfortunately, that fails because the street is rotated in a way that the decals can't rotate. So it just kind of bugged me, and so I made it with primitives instead. Okay, so what I want to do here is see how a building made using decals would look like. Unfortunately, I also didn't like that. In my opinion, the decals update is just really a missed opportunity. You could have made them way more customizable, like so you can change the shapes and sizes, rotate them better. So yeah, I guess I will just not use them again for now. Right, but talking about the actual skyscraper that we are building right now, it is called the Jingli International Finance Center. It is 288 meters or 945 feet tall. It would be the 7th tallest in Chongqing, but obviously as Fujiang is not an accurate representation of Chongqing, it is a bit different here. It houses various banks and offices as well as the Consulate General of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Alright, so right there I noticed that it would probably be good if I added some roof elements, which is what I will be doing for all buildings in the future and the ones that I already built. Moving on to the next building, it is the JW Marriott Hotel Chongqing. It is 178 meters tall or 584 feet. It was actually replaced in 2009 by the project called Chongqing 101 Mansion T2, so it does not exist anymore in reality. here I decided to add another little detail, that is aviation obstruction lighting, which is basically the blinking red lights you see on top of tall buildings and skyscrapers and towers and stuff. Alright, so we finished that 2-tower building complex. Now moving on to the next one, again 2 towers, a bit smaller. They are inspired by 2 buildings I found on Google Earth. However, I don't know the name or any data about the original buildings. Here's a picture, I will make them a bit differently. Alright, so the 2 apartment towers are now finished. Now I just want to again decorate the whole building block a bit with some trees before moving on to the next skyscraper. Alright, let's move on to the next skyscraper. That took way longer than it should have, but okay. This one isn't inspired by anything in particular, it's just something I wanted to build. It's not very detailed either, but it's okay, it fits in. Alright, that was way faster. Now moving on to another building complex, this time 3 towers, 1 office, 2 commercial or residential, on top of a big mall. This one is again not inspired by anything in particular, but it just came to my mind and I wanted to build it, and I think it turned out pretty good. the complex and the park is finished, now we are moving on to the next skyscraper. It is still not inspired by anything in particular, but the reason I have a building in such a shape is actually another JW Marriott hotel, which was also in downtown Chongqing. Now I added an additional tower in that shape, and it's also very different from the actual one in my opinion. Alright, I really like how that turned out. Now we will make another tower. It's not based on anything though. Alright, next up is a building called the Chongqing World Trade Center. It is 283 meters tall, that is 929 feet. It's the 10th tallest building in Chongqing. I think this is the most interesting building we will build in this episode because of its unique shape, but it was also the most complicated one, simply due to the fact that if a primitive has an uneven value, there is a light shift. So every time I copy and pasted another one of these level blocks, I had to slightly adjust them at a very small value, which was very annoying, especially because I had to do it so many times and I couldn't just copy paste it, but it was worth it in the end. Alright, now we will move on to just building random small buildings. They will house shops, offices, and residents. There we go, the city block is now completed. We will immediately move on to fill out another city block with the same random small buildings. Okay, we are done here. That means we can move on to the final part of the video, an apartment complex with a shop. With this apartment complex I will also test how well copy-pasting entire buildings will go. Luckily, it worked quite well. Alright, the apartment complex is done. That means there's only one building left, the shop. Alright, and that's it. I will now give you a nice fly around and then we will end the video. you all for watching episode 2 of my Fujiang series. It's been a long time since the last episode, simply because I did not have a lot of free time. There was a lot of school stuff going on, I was on vacation, and all that. Now, unless an unforeseen event happens, the next episode should arrive way earlier than this one. It will also be not as long as this one. I know that 40, more than 40 minutes is probably too long. Now I also want to thank you all for the support that the last video got. It really helps me with motivation to see more than 100 views on the first video of the series. This one will hopefully do even better, so make sure to like and subscribe, and maybe comment what your favorite building that we built in this episode was. I also hope you enjoyed my funny and obvious German accent. You can definitely tell that I don't actually speak English that much, only write it. But yeah, I think it's okay. Do you understand me? Yeah. I know you understand me. Alright, with all that said, have a good day or night, and goodbye.